One can forgive the average Indian if she thinks that 1 in 2 Indians is corrupt. That's how widely and deeply rooted we are in corruption. Are we a nation that is overly religious and utterly crooked? When I started off as a journalist with the Indian Express 40 years ago in 1984, a corruption expose would make news. Well, those were the days. Today, there are so many of them on a daily basis that only the juiciest, most interesting one would get any coverage at all. Like the Pune Porsche crash incident, which virtually exposes the entire system as corrupt. From a peon at the Sassoon hospital to two senior doctors, all of who have been arrested, allegedly for manipulating the blood sample tests of the accused teenager. One of the doctors arrested is Ajay Thavare, head of Sassoon Hospital's Forensic Medicine Department, and the other, Srihari Halnor, is the Chief Medical Officer. What trust does that leave in the hearts of the common man about the medical fraternity or about law, order, or justice? Down south, take the case this week of a deputy superintendent in Kerala, MG Sabu, suspended for attending a party hosted by goons along with 2 other police officials. Read that headline: Feast with Goons, DYSP MG Sabu suspended. A few things about that. 1. MG Sabu dares to do that in his last week in service. He retires this week, wanting to end his career in a flourish of corruption. 2. He was with the Crime Detachment branch of police, making you wonder if police officials can be part of crime detachment and crime attachment at the same time. 3. The common man would dread to pass on information or complain about goons to police if they come to know that police are pally with the gundas. And 4. MG Sabu is only suspended, not sacked, which is the biggest perk that India bestows on its corrupt government officials. They are only suspended. Some get even luckier. They are transferred so they can continue their corruption at a new, unexplored, and sometimes more fertile location. Who knows if India's corrupt government officials, caught red-handed each week, were to be sacked at the end of the same week and new recruits appointed, India's unemployment problem would be solved in a few years' time, if not within a few months. When corruption becomes so rampant, citizens tend to look at each other with suspicion. On a 650-kilometer drive to Chennai recently, during this election season, I was stopped by election officials 4 times to check if I was carrying drugs, cash, liquor, or other inducements. 4 times during 650 kilometers, or roughly once every 150 kilometers. To them, I must have looked like the average Indian, a corrupt man. Take a look at how corrupt our latest election process has been. The Election Commission's seizures until May 18 has totaled nearly 90 billion rupees. The breakup: drugs 39 billion, freebies 20 billion, precious metals 12, cash 8 billion, and liquor 8 billion, for a total of 88.89 billion. In addition, the Income Tax Department seized a record 1100 crore rupees, that's 11 billion, cash and jewelry in Lok Sabha elections 2024. Poor Indian politicians and their political parties, they have to bribe us voters with so many inducements so that we'll vote them and more than reciprocate those inducements over the next 5 years. Sure, we get leaders just like us. What won't change after June 4? The corruption tendency in our very veins. A big point to meditate on before the election result. Not to leave you dreary with those corruption data, let me end with what delight dedicated officials can provide us. Here's an a cappella by the Kottayam District Police this week. A cappella in Italian literally means in chapel or choir and is about vocal music without the accompaniment of instruments. Here's the Kottayam Police rendering a cappella with their mouths, lips, and clicks of fingers. Loosely translated, the lyrics go: "We who stand guarding you through the day in the hot sun, sing this song with you, united in mind and in one voice, this song of love."
പം 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 പുലരി മുതൽ പെരുവരികിൽ പൊരിവെയിലിൽ കരുതൽ